cannot go around me or through me to get to my father law, for he and I are one and the same. Now you see what must be done before you can be a universal architect. Universal justice. Balance scale, divine righteous judgment. Not be the black man time. Fuck if you trust this, you gonna feel the positive vibe. Oh, we gon' bust quick. How do you filthy as lies? Young black people need to learn who you are and understand why you're light skin, brown and dark. And always know where the sun get the heat to stay hot. Stand firm in your square and you never will stop. Rock out with your cock out and never.
Uh-oh, there we go. My bad, my bad. I'm glad I caught the sound. Somebody in the comments just told me, say, yo, your sound not coming through. So, yo, if anybody who didn't hear me, man, listen, it's the God and Earth Hour podcast. This your brother, Minister Freedom, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for coming through. We got the Earths in here tonight, man. You know what I mean? This first hour of the God and Earth Hour podcast, we got the Earths. I got three amazing and powerful Earths coming in here to build and to add on. And they talking about etiquette, womanhood, as well as, just the culture of the Earths and the 5%, man. This a topic that only they could speak on. I know y'all watch the podcast a lot. Y'all always seeing the gods in the building. I'm sure y'all know y'all may be wondering, yo, when y'all gonna have the Earths in here? So I'm gonna bring the Earths up, man. Get the Earths to stage and get this build going. Peace. Peace.
Peace to the gods, peace to the Earths,
Peace to the gods and the Earths.
So Earths, if y'all can, please introduce yourself for everybody and let's get the build going.
Hey, peace, everybody. I'm Wisdom Be Born. I'm originally from Medina. I've been, having knowledge for a while right now, and I just want to share with everybody sisterhood. And these two women right here that are going to be building with us tonight aren't just Earths. They're also my sisters and people that I've been knowing for a long time and who I consider a part of my family. And so that's what we're going to be building on tonight. We're going to be building on etiquette and family and what this culture is from a woman's point of view in regards to sisterhood. Again, my name Wisdom Be Born, man. I'm going to say peace.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace. I come in the name of Mecca Freedom Earth. I'm originally from Saudi, which is St. Louis, Missouri. However, I've been residing in Mecca for the last, what is it now, a decade almost? Yeah, I've been in Mecca for a decade now building. So, yeah, we just going to add on to this mighty nation and let you all know what we do as Earths, the women of this culture. So, yeah.
And last but definitely not least,
Peace. I'll be Wise Asia. I reflect the light of First Moon Prince Allah, who we know returned 21 years ago, approximately. And we know Allah never dies. So his knowledge is here with me and my root, my brain. So this is where my brain is where the knowledge and wisdom was first found when this planet was first made. So that's whose light I reflect. A lot of what I speak about today will be based upon what he taught me. And other earths that influenced me, like Asia Mean, Queen
Peace.
Cypher,
Peace, Earth.
Allah's Most Precious Jewel, um, my sister Tanetta, who's Asia Mean's oldest daughter, who I'm gonna start off with, broke down the word sister. She built on it yesterday at the parliament, but she gave me this a while ago, and I told her I was gonna steal it. I take it on all my travels. As a sister, you know, you're supposed to assist one another.
Peace.
So when I
Absolutely.
see you, and because we all prejudge, let's not act like we don't do that.
Right.
We prejudge when we listen, when we see. So we prejudge people based on what they show us of themselves. And if I see something where you're lacking, like the meme a lot of 85s put out, queens, real queens, fix other queens' crowns. So if my sisterhood is what I say it is, I'm always gonna assist my sister in being
Mm.
better at who she is and what
Peace.
she's accomplishing. And if she is all of that and everything is great, then that's less work for me. And I appreciate when they come like that.
Peace. Absolutely, Earth.
We're the letter M, meaning, and when you write the letter M, you go up, then you come down, then you go up, come down, go up, and come down. And that's what
Mm.
we constantly gonna do. We're gonna have our highs
Ups and
and we're gonna have
Peace.
our lows, but at the end of the day, we're gonna still keep that respect.
Peace.
Peace.
peace, peace,
Peace.
Earth. That's peace. You know, the to add on to that, you know, like with the ups and downs, like, you know, the God Day in this month just made wisdom as sight for years that I've been knowing 120, right?
Peace.
Because I knowledge 120 when I was knowledge power. Okay.
I remember
Um,
you.
um, and not just to y'all don't, man, people don't even understand like the history that's so rich in this room, right? Because you know, I got knowledge from my father, understanding born, right? And when I'm coming up young as a young earth, 12, 13 years old, like Wise Asia was like that's somebody that I admired in my journey of having knowledge, because I didn't just want to I didn't just want to take on the appearance of the earth. I wanted to know 120, you know? And when you came around, that was the chatter. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the no 120. And you know, at that time, I only know like my 1 to 36. So when you come around, like, trust me, I was definitely ducking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like word is bond. You know, I'm 12. Listen, I'm 12, 13 years old. I ain't got a front for nobody, you know, but that's those were the things like that got my sword as sharp as it is now. You know what I'm saying? That just having that type of inspiration, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what put a fire under me, and knowing that I wanted to learn 120 and I wanted to teach 120, you know, was growing up and, you know, seeing not just you knew your lessons, but you always had students. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I make sure when you see me, or sometimes you don't see me, you see my students. That's my way of showing you I did the knowledge to you.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled by
You
that.
know, and that's the so when you say that I'm your little sister, that ain't just because we dress alike. That's not because we talk alike. That's because we use this to do what we were taught to do. Luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life.
Peace.
Facts.
That's what we were supposed to do with this. And so it's like what I want people to understand right now, or if they got any questions right now, like they need to ask, because the thing is that most gods never even built with an earth.
Well,
Peace.
a lot of gods, like you got a lot of gods
You
here.
know, they never sat. And there's people right now that's probably watching this right now that had knowledge 6, 7, 8 years, and they never paid a visit to the mind of a Black woman with this.
They not taught that. Look at my generation, right? I got the
Right.
knowledge 87.
All
A
right.
lot of brothers back then said these lessons weren't for women.
Right.
But how could that be? You know, this is why it's important for women to know the history. How could you say that Allah didn't want women to have this when Allah taught Allah's most precious jewel?
Right.
If he didn't want women to have this, why did he have women he taught? Like, you don't make
Right.
sense. Your math
Right.
is not mathing right now. It's not making sense.
Right. Right. Right.
And then the lessons tell you, like, you know, if we go anywhere in today's degree in 120, if we go in student enrollment and the 1 to 14, the 1 to 40, the 1 to 36, all of those talk about the earth right at the end, if not in the beginning.
Right.
Mhm.
How am I the home of Islam and I don't speak your language? How am I the best part? How am I a part of you renewing your history if I'm not relevant to you? If I don't speak your language? And don't ever dare and equate me to the devil. I'm the original woman. There has not ever been and there will nor ever be another original woman. I am and has always been. So how could you equate your home, where you plant your seed, where you renew your history, with a devil, with something that's equal to a devil? And we know 120 talks about grafted and made devils. So how could you equate me to either or when I'm your most prized possession?
Right.
Indeed.
And you know Earth too, right? This is the thing that I was saying, and this is something that I build with my sister on thoroughly. And in fact, I build with anybody who has daughters on thoroughly, right? It's like some of these teachings is outdated and it's starting to show from like, you know, the children that we have here, right? So it's like, for example, right? If the whole a woman shouldn't know 120 thing, say if that was like something people were really invoking or something like that, and my father ain't give it to me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, when my father was in jail, I was getting it from Prince. And then when Prince went home, I was getting the rest from Allah Real. Like I don't have a one history with one people. I was taught by the village, right? So say
Yeah.
if the village didn't teach me,
Peace.
I got two sons right now. I got two sons right now. I've taught 4 women 120 at this point, and they all bore sons at this point.
Hmm.
Okay? This is not just about being able to articulate yourself or to be able to. I don't use my lessons to try to outwit a man. I use my lessons to advance society through my children.
Mhm.
Talk about that part.
I raised me an army out my womb. I got two sons and a daughter. I raised me an army out my womb, you know? And so it's like, and then just to take it even further, like when you was building on Allah's most precious jewel, you know, I obviously, you know, I met these people and got to talk to them a few times, but more closer to Queen Shamika. Okay,
Peace.
that's somebody that
Peace
I'm
to the
more
earth.
closer to, and she told me many stories of many earths she taught 122. You understand what I'm saying? And this has got to be 70s that they're talking about. You know?
Earth,
Yeah.
real quick, Earth. I just wanted to say, man, Earth, I appreciate y'all, and I told you this on the phone that I really appreciate y'all coming to add on. I just wanted to say this, man, because y'all dropping so many jewels. You know, this was just a jewel I heard, you know, from that. The God spoke about now Allah saying something at a rally one time. Of course, I wasn't there. You know, I'm just speaking of what I've been told. You know, and which was it's still a jewel, but he was saying the gods was all going through that. He was hearing gods talk about the whole time, saying the woman don't have a mind, and he said gods was arguing back and forth about it. And he said they said now Allah stood up on the table and said, "Yo, if a woman don't have a mind, who gonna teach y'all babies?" And everybody just shut up. He said he just shut the whole thing down. And it always stuck with me because I said, whoa, that was a jewel, you know. And even the God just saying, yo, your woman have to know because she the one who's helping to teach the babies while we out, building and adding on. So, I know I said I wasn't gonna add on, but I just said, man, the
Nah,
earth's in here
that's
going.
a beautiful
But
jewel,
It's in here
guys.
building.
to add
That's a
on to that,
beautiful
God, the
that's a
woman's
beautiful jewel
nature,
from a beautiful brother. You know?
the that's the thought of the woman by nature, right? A woman is a cultivator by
Right.
nature. By
Right.
nature. That's a woman,
Right.
whether she got knowledge herself or not. And it's more
Right.
dangerous if she don't have the knowledge,
Peace.
because then her
Absolutely.
duty is to cultivate man. A woman with knowledge herself will always know and understand her place is beside a great man.
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and the add on also, the earth was already made. The earth, before the sunshine light, the earth was already prepackaged. And the earth has a sun inside the earth, and there's a sun that the earth rotates around. So we can show and prove that because of the earth's core. So we know that there's a ball of flame inside the earth. And even when the earth was in darkness, she had her water, she had her sun inside of her, and she had everything. But once that light came on her, everything changed, everything bloomed, everything blossomed, everything stood eternally of growth and development, with life bearing life, etc., etc. Because that's what the man who is symbolic to the sun does. He breathes life everywhere he goes, if he's in tune and in accordance with his nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a black woman who is symbolic to the earth, it's only right that I sustain the life that's given. I'm not here destroying nothing. That's the devil's job. That's why it's imperative, like they say the dumb shit. The wisdom is secondary but
You
most
gotta put the
Yeah.
necessary.
wisdom
If
before the
that's not the
knowledge.
most ignorant, oxymoron shit on the fucking planet, that's a rapper, somebody who was high and made the shit. Because anything that is most necessary is fucking primary. Anything that is secondary is secondary. It would never be primary. That's why it's secondary. But it sounds catchy. It sounds good. You're gonna retain it. Yeah, secondary most necessary. That shit is fly than a motherfucker. That's the most sweetest bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
And
But nevertheless, it's wrong. And
yeah,
it shows the level of ignorance and how rapid ignorance will spread, because you're still here, brothers,
Sis,
saying secondary.
can I add on?
listen.
You know, it's even more wrong than that. Saying that wisdom is the woman in the first place.
Okay.
Let's just bring it to the one, sis. We ain't get it like that. We ain't get it. That's just even saying my name is Wisdom Be Born. That's
Okay.
because I'm about that action. It's not because I'm a woman. It's
Right.
because you're gonna see me, you're gonna feel me at the same time.
Okay.
You know, it's like not because I'm a woman. Wisdom ain't the woman. Wisdom is not the woman. It's not. You know, it's not.
That's
And
an actual
listen.
fact. Wisdom is wise words.
Right.
That's why my name is Wise Asia, because you're going to
Right.
see my mind before you see my body. You're going to hear me before you see my body.
Peace, sir.
Hmm. It's a choice. It's a choice. Even when we look at knowledge and what knowledge is, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when we look at the heavens, when we look at the universe, it's a perfect dance between the earth and the sun. It's an organic dance, just like knowledge is organic. So
Mm.
it's a choice. Before you can even make a way, before you can even do the action, you have to make a conscious effort to say, I'm gonna do this. And even when we deal with sisterhood, it's got to happen organically. It's got to be a choice.
Right.
I can get on the
Right.
phone and build with you, and I can see where you at just by what you give me, by what I receive. You know,
Right.
things have to be organic. And when we talking about the woman and her being the way, or being the one that is the backbone, so to speak, or the first teacher of a child, she has to have that choice or want that choice to basically teach the babies. And that's a dangerous game too. You know,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a
I,
dangerous
I
game
want I
too.
want I want to add on to because we was building about started to build about sisterhood Mecca
Yeah,
and about how sisterhood needs to be organic, and I want to
organic.
touch upon this right
Peace,
now.
God.
Just like we say, you have to learn this culture from actually walking with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to learn sisterhood in this culture
Right.
by walking with somebody. Okay?
Absolutely.
Like my relationship with the both of y'all doesn't start or end in parliament. You understand what
No.
I'm saying? It's a real relationship, and there's certain there's a lot of thoughts I want to say with this, but most of it revolves around etiquette, right?
Yes.
Now, I didn't meet Mecca first, okay? I know her God, all right? I start building with him right in my mind.
Hmm.
Yo, do you have a black woman? You got an earth? Who's your earth? Introduce me to your earth, right? Because sometimes it seems that the etiquette is real clear when it comes to the brothers, but sometimes it's
It's
not
not
so
real
clear when it
clear.
comes to the
Mm-mm.
sisters. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's
Well,
not so clear with that, you know?
part
And
of-
so he gave and then Earth, word is bond. Once I met her, me and her became like this. Oh, what I gotta be hitting freedom up for? That's my sister. You know what I'm saying? Now he see me on her phone through a FaceTime, or you understand what I'm saying? Or something like that. And so I'm like, man, these are certain things we gotta build about, is because when it comes to the gods know there's a certain etiquette, like, yo, you can't just talk to a sister, you can't just do this, you gotta ask this, you gotta ask that. Now I'm not saying that if a listen, there's many different ways that we live in as a culture, right? So some of us,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying, do have different relationship views. Everybody here is not monogamous. Some of us are polygamous, right? But still, there still has to be an etiquette. Well, who's your earth guy? Well, you just gonna carry on a relationship with a brother, and you see he got a woman. You know what I'm saying? And like it's like, yo, say peace. You know what I'm saying? And then I made a best of friend.
And
I made a
examine
best of
her
friend.
in her mind and see what she knows and see what she doesn't know
Right,
and how you can add on to her. You
right.
understand?
Stop, boy.
That's how that work.
There you go. Take him.
And it has to be a choice, even with learning this way of life, it has to be a
And
choice through the woman.
it has to be genuine. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they took me into their family. It's like, when are we gonna make relationships like that in this culture, where we just not trying to get a man or to get a woman? That's my listen. My word is my bond. If my brother was to take that camera upstairs right now, all them babies would jump in this camera and say, "Titi Wisdom, we miss you, Titi Wisdom." Like, we have to start advancing in the culture and start mastering different relationships
Peace.
outside of the dating scene. You know what I'm saying? We gotta master being aunties, uncles.
Hmm.
Some of us is getting older. It's granddaddy and grandmama time. You
I'm
know what I'm
about to be
saying?
a grandma.
Peace, earth. You know what I'm saying? And these are the reflections of relationships that we need to be really like building with each other. Like Freedom, really my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he looked for me and cared for me like a brother. And me being raised in this culture, I realized that I got an experience that a lot of women never got. And you got that experience too, Earth, where there's men who really love us. No funny, no funny, really love us like
But
a
those were
sister.
civilized men, not to cut you.
Right, right. And these are the relationships we need to be nurturing and also teaching, Like, listen, every Earth I taught 122. My word is bond. I made sure that I gave them a group of brothers as I taught them, because I gave them my brothers. I gave them my brothers. So I'm not just sharing these lessons with you. I'm sharing these relationships that I have with people that are touching almost 30 years now. You know, this is what I'm sharing with you. And so I make sure I give them a group of brothers while I'm teaching them, so I could show them this, because people say to me all the time, they're like, oh, Wisdom, you really understand mathematics in this certain type of way. And it's because I got to have relationships with people in every aspect of this knowledge. I have a father, I have uncles, I have men who I consider grandfathers, brothers. This is what makes my knowledge so rich, is because I was able to experience this knowledge in men in all different relationship facets, not just an intimate one.
Sisters don't know that. I'm about to repeat Prince, and being that you was among him, you going second it. Firstborn Prince said, the first 10 years you have the knowledge, you still incorporating your 85 shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're still incorporating. You're going to try to blend as much as you can try until you keep falling so hard flat on your face that you give it up and you start living in accordance to mathematics. And a lot of brothers, even though they can spit that 120, they can make that 120 sound like beautiful classical music. They still have a lot of savage in them. Right. And that's how come there's not, the population of women is not so great here in New York, in the root. We had a lot of brothers that weren't well educated, that didn't come. You got to remember, law took from the gutter to teach, to show forth his power. So when he got returned, a lot of brothers didn't really clean themselves up. I'm going to take from my personal experience with Firstborn Prince. I just recently thought about that man and said, I must have been a beautiful hell for him. Because I'm the age where he was teaching me. And imagine to be a man vast with all of this knowledge, respected in the street, respected in the institution, respected amongst brothers, and to have a young girl, 25 years to be exact, younger, and all she wants from you is knowledge. I don't have one memory of that man looking at my body, and I got hills and mountains on my planet.
Right.
I don't remember.
Right.
And I'm sure he did. Right. He wasn't, holy firstborn Prince of Law.
Right.
Man, I'm sure he did knowledge what was on the planet. I never ever caught him. I never sat with him and was like,
right.
And I've been with him. Whoever knows what type of man that was knows what type of man that was. And that man I've never ever felt uncomfortable around that man. I never felt like he was looking at me. And I've been with him when he was drinking, when he was smoking, when he was doing whatever. And I've had on, everybody here know how I dress, So I've been with him as comfortable as I was in summertime, wintertime, and he even wrote me in a letter. He was like, listen, you the earth, whether you in 3/4 or not. I know every part of you. And we never dealt intimately. All he did, he was literally my educator and literally showed me love. Like that man didn't grow up like he grew up with you. You grew up with him.
Right.
I didn't grow up with Prince.
Right.
So for a stranger who doesn't know my biological family, didn't know my history, just watching me, just looking at me at parliaments, chose me to teach, to leave his history with me and not want nothing in return, that was love. That was a love I have never, ever experienced in my life. And I've had, I ain't gonna say abundance, but I've had men tell me they love me. I have more than one man tell me they love me. More than one man tell me whatever, right? But I've never, ever had a man love me like Firstborn Prince loved me. That was real love. And a lot of these sisters that are getting knowledge, I feel so bad for, because these brothers, depleting the earth of its resources.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
women, who wants to hang around that?
I want to say this though, and definitely because as are giving Princess flowers, there's two people that come to my mind right now that are amongst the living that are that for me right now as elders, and that's the God See Life Justice out in Power Hill, that's number one. And the second I would say for me is Ramel Supreme, you know, somebody that I done been around in my house, done seen me in a bata, all of that, and shows that supreme respect, love, adoration, you know what I'm saying? And just, like, like somebody like I definitely, like see like a figure like the big brother, the father, you know what I mean? Like, and I have these relationships with older gods, and so there are still, people that are living this and showing love in the most right and admirable ways, like look, there's people be thinking, I give another one their flowers because people be thinking because I was young and I got knowledge and stuff from my father that I was like some good kid. I was a bad kid, okay? I was a bad kid. I was cutting school. I was running the streets and all of that. And my mother, my old earth used to call a son up. That's the God that sparked most of Cream City, Allah's son, truth. My mother used to call him up crying. That God made me finish school. Matter of fact, not even made me finish school. I couldn't come around if I wasn't going to school, okay? Because at that time he was gravity, because gravity say so, okay? You understand what I'm saying? There was people that had this knowledge that was so invested into me that made sure I went to school. A son made sure God's did for me. You know what I'm saying? I know what they did for me and I know what they're still doing for me, and I just want that to be a reoccurring thing when men are giving sisters this knowledge, like, yo, give her family too, give her family too, give her support too, even if you like her as a woman, that's cool, but give her family too. All of this, like, this separatism and we don't talk to nobody and don't talk to my woman or you don't talk to my man, like, if we feel like that amongst each other, we shouldn't be around each other.
God's a like that. The brother I'm talking to now, right? I'm gonna blow him up. I'm gonna give him his little 3 seconds of fame, right? Great life. I'm gonna just throw it out there because he be threatening me on a regular basis and shit. Help! I'm gonna blink 3 times so y'all know. But the God Great Life, he old school, he got it early. I think he was knowledge culture when he got the knowledge, and that was in the 70s. So he sounded real. My daughter was like, well, goddamn, how old is he? When I was giving my daughter his history, she was like, how old is he? I was like, he ain't that old, baby girl. But he's real territorial.
Peace, sir.
He knows I'm a social butterfly. Like, we're two opposites, He's pretty reserved and conservative, and I'm the free spirit, the wild, on the edge of my seat type of sister.
Peace, Earth. Can you hear? Peace, Earth. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. I do got some questions for y'all.
Go ahead.
That's in the chat. So I do want to drop these questions for y'all. So the first one that I got is what advice would y'all give to new sisters that's just coming into the knowledge, sisters that's just getting into their degrees and their lessons, and want to know what's some advice that you would give them just coming into this culture.
I want to add on to that. So my advice to anybody getting knowledge, right? And this is to sisters, but this is to anybody, is that you choose your educator. Your educator don't choose you. Just because you like this knowledge and you might meet a brother and you might not like this knowledge, but you might not like how that person is kicking it. You might like how somebody else is kicking it, because the science is the way we embody these degrees and lessons is personified through our way of life, like how we actually live, the sum total of our daily activities, right? So it's about finding somebody like, you know, I like
You
the way this
compatible.
person lives. I like what this person is doing with their life. Take your time finding an educator, you know, especially for women. Take your time finding an educator, especially if you're not romantically interested in the brother you're talking to. Take your time finding an educator.
Mm.
And
Okay,
keep your
talk to
drawers
people,
on.
Matt, and listen.
Ooh.
This and treat it like a job. And treat it like a job interview. How many other people have you taught 120 to? Who are they? Do you have children? Have you taught your children? Because I don't know about you. I don't want to learn a way of living from anybody that hasn't even taught this to their own children, let alone somebody else, you know? So ask these provoking questions to people who are putting themselves in position or quote unquote saying they're educators. Who have you taught?
Yeah.
Earth, I heard you was about to say something too. You wanna? Wise
Oh,
Ace, you was about to say something.
oh, keep your drawers on, sisters. Keep your drawers on.
He
Keep
dropped it.
your belt and your zipper tight. Keep it tight. Because if a brother is if a brother really want to be your God, he's going to show you that he wants to be your God. And because God is seen through his ways and actions. So you're going to see righteousness in him. He's going to ask you questions like, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Are you cold? What time do you need to be in? Are you rested? He's going to invest in you and he's going to give you himself. Like when I was talking about the brother I'm building with. I got his history. He made sure in our first conversation, he gave me himself so I can see him in past and present. So I know what to expect in my future. A brother that truly cares about, first of all, a brother made a plan from you for the first time he looked at you, sis.
Mm.
The first time he gazed upon you, he already knew he was going to make you his home, or he was just going to have fun with you for time, or he was going to invest in your growth and development just because that's who he is. And like I said, sis, if a brother want to give you the lower head, then the lowest standard is what you'll always be.
Damn. Come on. I know Mecca was sitting right here at the edge. She was ready to get add on to y'all. Come on,
No,
Earth.
I just was gonna say it's a choice, and you have to want to do it for yourself. You can't want to do it for anybody else. Yeah, like Wise Asia said, keep your pants on. However, you also gotta make sure you keep everything else on the swivel as well, which is your mind. Because some women have those thoughts too. It's not just a man.
Right,
Yes,
that's a fact.
It's
That's a
not
fact.
just a
Hold on,
man.
that's a fact.
Uh-oh.
that's a
Some
fact.
women come,
That's a
for
fact.
multiple reasons. Just like he got a plan, we got a
Right,
plan too. You know.
right,
But what is
right,
the real
right,
divine plan here?
right,
What's the
right.
plan? You know, you should be able to come up to a baby or a woman's baby, especially if she's striving to get a knowledge of herself and striving to navigate this way of life and this culture. Her baby should be being taught too. We're responsible not only for
Absolutely,
her, but for her
absolutely,
children too. When they come
absolutely.
over, make them feel welcome, and everybody has a job.
Right.
Because some come with no siblings. Some siblings just turn them away, like, well, if this is what you're going to choose, I don't think I want to be,
Mm,
associated with you anymore. Some
Right.
come directly off the streets. So why
Right.
even penetrate her physically if you're not penetrating her mentally
yes.
Right.
in the most positive way? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And to add on, because this is also striking me to remember something else I wanted to touch upon. Because this we could be here for so long, man. It's just certain things I be wanting to say, like in regards to educating somebody, right? Like I've already done this thing 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? Everybody that I taught, I know their family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
You
Okay,
supposed
let's
to.
talk about this. I know their mother, I know their father, I know their brothers and sisters, their children. You cannot be teaching somebody a way of life and you just teaching them how to quote something. That's not teaching them how to take this and interact with their family.
Right.
Okay? Now you don't see me getting it from my father. I learned from a young age how to interact with this with family. Okay. Now that's something I teach. You know, every earth I taught 122, they are who they are around their mother as they are around me. Because as I'm teaching them, I'm around their mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm around their mother. I got rapports with the mothers of the women I taught love me. They love me. They ask for me. They wish me happy birthday.
Right.
They children call me Titi. You know, this is so important because what happens is, let me tell you why this is important, and this ain't even for just the women. This is for the brothers too. Okay, the reason why it's important is because you're not teaching them a culture, you teaching them Allah's living mathematics as a subculture. Okay,
Mm.
so till this day, 20, 30, 40 years later, they are not even recognized or respected around their own family because they wasn't even taught how to do so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you have a student, do you know your student needs confidence?
Right.
That
Mm-hmm.
me standing in front of their mothers and their brothers and sisters and their children gave them confidence.
Mm-hmm.
The confidence to say that they the earth, or or you know, mother, this is the name I'm going by now, and this is my friend Wisdom. No different than Farad went in their homes, no different than Elijah went in their homes, and no different than Allah went in their homes. We
Fact.
had to go in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care who you think you teaching, have you been in their home? You see this Mecca right here, my sister right here, I know what her pantry look like. I know where the sugar is in her house. I know where the flour is in her house. I know where the beans is. I know where the seasonings is. And she knows where they at in my house because we're
Okay.
building families. Okay? And so when you're teaching people, you have to meet their family. How you even know what kind of person this is or what you're dealing with?
Right.
You don't even know the triple stages of darkness that you need to deliver them from because you ain't never even paid a visit to their mind. You ain't never paid a visit to the origin of them, where they come from, where the knowledge and wisdom started when that planet was made
All right,
or
let's use
found.
that.
Mm-hmm.
What's another question?
Let me see really quick. So, I got this is a. I just wanted to read a couple comments. This is a needed conversation. The young Earth is right here, hearing this amazing build. They said the Earth is speaking truth. Let me look over here at this one. I see. Did you have any questions, God? You want to throw out there? Yeah.
You like, I'm staying away from them things.
Say,
Yo, hold on to, because sometimes I want to say this before we
go
get
ahead.
off of everything, because sometimes we could talk about the lowness of people, right? And sometimes the brothers do this or the sisters do that and stuff, but like D Mecca is one of the most favorite ciphers like I ever visited in as a nation is concerned. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to like the gods. In fact, all the gods that I met out there always treated me like a sister. Every single one of them. Not
I need to
just
go out there. Y'all gotta
you
invite
know,
me to something.
yeah, nah, like that. That is a there's still there's when we talk about these occurrences with these brothers doing things like that, man, that ain't the true living.
No, that's
Because
right.
when I think because I know the true living, you know what I mean. And so it's like I definitely don't want nobody to be offended by certain things, but also too people gotta know that these are real experiences. You know what I'm saying? That women are experiencing certain things like that with people who come in the name. So an examining process has to be like more thoroughly vetted.
Absolutely.
Like if you keep seeing brothers or even sisters with different men or different women, it's like, yo, why, what's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? not just keep letting it happen and slide, because we about building family. So if you constantly watching each other build the family up and take it down, now I got a new family, new family, new family. And it's not just with brothers, it's with women too. If we want to, we have to start checking that amongst each other and making sure that we staying tighter with their family, you know. And that's definitely a lesson that, you know, I've learned in my life, you know, because, you know, like my family got broken up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we have to, that's got to be a central message. And that's what this knowledge is about. This knowledge is about family and about building family. It's not just about gaining the knowledge of yourself. It's like, okay, now you got it. You got the knowledge of the cipher, but now you need the wisdom of the cipher. Now you need the understanding of the cipher. Now you need the code. It keep going and going, you know? It keeps going and going. So it's just like, yo, I think the, you know, I would want everybody to get from this the most, like how to build family and building family, you know,
Peace,
beyond
Earth. I do got.
just husband and wife, but brothers and sisters, and us staying close and invested in one another.
Here's a good question for you, Earth, for the Earths. What changes should a woman see becoming the Earth?
Ooh, can I get into that first?
Yeah,
Yeah, me
you
too.
got something over your camera. Earth is like it's blue.
Oh,
It's kind of cutting
because
your
I keep
camera off a little
leaving
bit.
it and it
What
keeps
was the
falling.
question again?
Pardon.
You good?
Um,
What changes should a woman see
a
becoming?
lot of
What
changes.
changes should a woman
Everything
see when
about.
becoming the Earth?
So when you become the earth, right?
Right.
First thing for me was how I spoke. That was first. That was the first. Because I started using words like emphatically. That was my first favorite word in 120. I use that for everything. Emphatically, yes, we there. Emphatically, no. That was hot. And after I got over my emphatically phase, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That was me. I was definitely taken from the 1 to 36. I was like, ooh, you eating the wrong food. Oh, so you don't know you my uncle. I was definitely a fan of the one to
Heart and
36.
self,
Pardon.
right? You know,
Like, oh, so you gonna be a traitor and disappear and leave me with no one left to speak? I was 136 that was a big thing. So first thing I would say would be language, and from language comes culture, because I might not wear a head wrap and what they consider to be traditional 3/4s, but I'm covered, right? As you see.
right,
Um,
right,
so and I'm neat. I'm well groomed. I don't know if y'all seen me.
class,
I
right,
smell good too. I'm
right,
known for my scent
right,
and shit. Like
right.
I come to your house and my scent still be there when I'm gone and it's not foul. You be like,
Right.
oh, Asia was he? Like, yes, I was. I
Keep
pride myself. So once you learn language, you're gonna have a culture and it's gonna show. Then definitely your eating habits.
Peace.
You're gonna see, you're just gonna not like, it's just gonna come to you. You're just gonna not like certain foods that you was eating before. um and after that, and what was the hardest for me was letting go of certain people. There were certain people that I loved to be among. I had a good time with, but they weren't
right,
conducive to my growth and development.
right,
And I had to choose, either I'm gonna die happy with them or I'm gonna live brave with myself. So always chose self, right? Going back to my favorite part, right? I came by myself, so we all know where that's at. So what you call it? Those are the things that you'll first see, and it's definitely a journey that's never ending. I've had this for a pretty good amount of time, meaning that I've had knowledge of self longer than I was dead.
right.
So you're gonna definitely always. I still see changes. There's brothers and sisters in this coach I had to let go of. There were things I had to let go of. I had to be like, listen, I'm Earth, and I'm just and true. I'm all wise and civilized. And if I am saying these things, certain things have to go. That's not matching that. So once you start having those serious conversations with yourself, you're definitely well on your way to the journey of knowledge and stuff.
And I think a lot of things that people don't get, especially it's funny like when you're teaching somebody and you realize like, they don't really understand what they're getting into. That this is a
Right.
life that this is a lifelong journey, right? And that's what people need to understand. Like it's still ways, that I'm growing and refining myself and improving myself, and educating myself. Like studies don't stop. Like what I've been committing my study. Like I know I'm 20 now for 20 years, but I've also graduated culinary school and I'm a herbalist, and now I'm studying Quran. Like I've memorized 30 surahs of the 114 books. I have 30 of them memorized, and I'm learning Arabic, And so the thing is that what I want people to understand is being the earth is being a scholar, is being a scholar, and 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 we need to be proficient in things. You can't say the earth and you don't have the power to heal people. You heal your family, you know what I mean, and things like that. So it's like this is a never ending road. Like you learn mathematics, you learn 120, and then it don't stop there. Like my sister Mecca in school right now for Earth. I don't remember what you go to
Peace,
school for
peace,
Earth?
Earth, peace,
Well,
Earth. Not to cut your build, I do got two other
let
questions for
me.
y'all
I
too, real
want
quick.
to answer
You
that
want to add on
last.
to the last
Yeah, I
Yeah,
question,
no,
real
want
quick?
to.
keep it going, guy. We got talk a lot, so why can't we talk a lot too? We keep it
That's
going.
I ain't trying to cut your build. I'm just trying to make sure I get all of the questions answered. But come on up, Earth. I know you.
No, I just was gonna say it's you supposed to see the change in you just by the thought. I know for me it was just my whole thought process change. It was hard in regards to clothing, cause y'all gotta think I was like 18 or 19. Like I had just
Mm-hmm.
graduated high school. I'm like, yo, I gotta give up these jeans. Like what? So it's literally a whole mindset change, or at least for me it was. And when you go through certain changes and you start doing away with certain things and adopting certain things, it's literally like people see that and they're going to question it, and they're going to basically, either going to stay here with you and go through the process, or they're not. That's just the ways of life. It's
Right.
literally just the ways of life. So the changes you're supposed to see is the active changes that you make for yourself. Can't nobody else do it for you. So when you start to do it, and when you start to really, like Wise Asia said, when you really start to like have certain conversations with yourself and what you want to do, then that's when all the answers come to you, especially if that's really what you want to do. Not because it's a fad, not because of somebody you like, or the God is, kicking it this way. It's really for you. You know, it's not for nobody else. The changes are dietary, obviously. You can't be saying, peace, we don't adhere to certain things, but you still, having scallops and scrimps, behind closed doors, or you're still,
Oops.
Right.
doing for real, and you still doing certain things. These changes are literally embedded in a civilization. It's a whole culture. And if
Word.
you're talking about shifting a culture and making a whole culture, a lost culture, this is literally what we're about
No, that's
at the
right.
heart and the core. That's
And
the
we
best part.
and we and we need to be, no matter what degree of civilization you're dealing with, we always need to be pushing it further,
Further,
not just in
absolutely.
academia, but decorum. Um, we need to be taking it further, like diet, all of that.
No
We need to
doubt.
Like
be
for
becoming
me,
scientists
I
about
didn't
it.
I didn't grow up eating pork. I didn't grow up eating red meat. Okay, but now like I'm raising my children vegetarian. I'm cooking at least 4 vegan meals a night. You understand what I'm saying? In a week. You understand what I mean? I'll give my children like maybe some Cornish hen or some fish sparingly. You know what I'm saying? But just not just teaching them exactly, oh, just don't eat pork. No, taking it further,
I'm gonna go.
taking it further and moving back to the one, moving back to what Allah taught, because Allah was leading us towards vegetarianism. Okay, that's where they were leading us towards. So it's like really going with that. Like I know better. Just okay, I'm 36 years old. Yeah, sometimes I like to have fish and chicken, but I know better, and I
Right.
need to be advocating better with diet
Right.
amongst my children and the people that I'm teaching. And we need to just take everything that we know and keep advancing with it. You
And
know,
get
with
around
it.
people who are gonna advance you. As
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
earth, as a earth, those are the changes you're supposed to see too. When you get
Yeah.
around certain earths, when earths start to come around you, the conversation and the dialogue even supposed to change. It's not supposed to stay the same as if you, hey girl, what did you see
Hey,
out? You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right,
or did you see? Or girl,
right,
no, I'm not your
right,
girl. Like, queen, what are
right.
you preparing for dinner tonight
With
for the
dinner. That's
babies?
what yeah,
Queen,
right.
how do you see today's mathematics? Like,
Right,
what are you
right,
what are you
Cleaning
dealing with
products.
right now?
Let's
You know
talk
what I'm
about how
saying?
we're eliminating certain harmful cleaning products because we mix
Absolutely.
with
right,
hot water, the fumes
Yes.
and the toxins. So you start incorporating your oils, your lemons,
right,
your
And
right,
salt.
passing recipes down, passing home remedies down, you
right,
know,
Yes.
passing
right,
certain experiences we've had down so we can never run into this problem again, you
right.
know,
Passing
passing certain
skills.
wisdom and certain skill sets down, you
Right,
know. And all
right.
of us should really take a look at ourselves and say, what am I good at and how can I be of service to not only myself but
My
people around
sister
me?
and my sister.
How can my backyard basically provide for me? And whoever's
Right,
not into having a green thumb, you need to get into it. You need to
right,
test the pH of your soil. You need to see where you can grow. You need to see what you can be doing for yourself, and you would be surprised. I didn't know I knew how to write. I didn't know I was a good writer. Maybe I should start writing. You know, anything. You know, you should see a change in yourself because you want to be the change, not because of nobody else. Other people supposed to inspire you when you get around them. You know, and we gotta assess each other mentally too,
right.
and get
We
each
don't.
other out of
We
certain mental loops. Like, you know,
right,
sis, I know you was talking about that yesterday. Is everything okay with that? Have you drank any water today? You know,
right,
and really
right,
organically assessing mental, you know, I ain't gonna say problems or issues, but just the whole person when you're talking
right,
about holistic health. Because we talk about holistic health and, oh, what herb do this and what herb do that, but we also gotta cure certain neurons and neurological pathways that, you know, aren't healthy and
right,
forge new ones through the food
right,
that we eat, you know, and,
right,
you know, diet. I always go
right.
back to the diet, but it's also this way of being, how we being right now. This is healthy.
Word.
We supposed to be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is feel good hormones right now.
Really quick, I did have another real good question for y'all. The sister in I think this is one of our sisters on Instagram said, what does peace earth what to use to protect fine hair under the head wrap?
Silk.
So,
Silk scarf.
hold
Damn,
on.
y'all said it all at the
So,
same
Yeah,
time.
silk.
you need the silky mama.
Yeah, you
The
need the silk.
silk, the
Or
silk.
And
wasn't we just
Gotta
talking
gotta
about
keep them
this?
edges intact.
Yeah, we was just talking about this. And this is not church.
That was
Right.
It's
quick.
not church. Please,
That
like,
was fast. Y'all got that one.
yo,
That was an easy one to answer.
You should never wrap your hair
not all
without no
like,
silk, you
yeah.
know. And let me tell you something too. For
and that's
my
for all
for
textures.
our earth, I was your earth. Mind I
Oh,
check mine because I was just about because my hair texture is just like Wise Asia's hair texture. And when I was coming up, nobody taught me because I'm so called Puerto Rican or whatever you want to call it. I didn't know. I'm thinking, oh, I don't have to put nothing under my head wrap. You
Well,
know what I'm
yes, the
saying?
fuck you
And
do.
listen, my hairline was started to look like Mickey Mouse. So I don't care what texture
That
your
shit.
hair is. You need to put a silk scarf under,
And make three
and let
fourths
it and let
you.
it breathe,
Yeah, let it breathe.
and none of I don't know me. I don't wear hair wrap every day. Wise Asia. Sometimes you see Wise Asia wrapped up. You be wrapped up sometimes, sis. You be
But I
surprised
don't
to
go
know.
to mockery of certain
You be
sisters.
giving them the Princess Jasmine sometimes. All right. You
I
do.
mean, I'm in my power years. I'm about to be a grandmother for the first time. So You know, come the end of this to the beginning of this October, I'll be a grandmother. And I wish my daughter would stop adding characters to my book of life. Like she need to stop. Need to stop adding characters to my story. Like I'm working on my third Quran. I just closed my second Quran. Like, can you let my third one like be easy? Because the first one was juicy, you know? The first one was juicy. You know, I was in darkness. I came into the light. You know, you be funny with it in the beginning. You want to test the math to see if it's really real. So, you know, the
Real,
first
right?
Quran was juicy. You know, the second one was kind of boring because I already knew shit. So the second Quran was kind
Right,
of like a snoozer. But I wanted
right.
my one to be livid, like, yo, you know? And here go my daughter getting married, giving me a son. I ain't give birth to a son. Well, I got a son. Now she having a baby. You know, she at equality weeks pregnant. She about to find out if it's twins or not. Like, come on. You gonna make me a grandmother at twins on my first rodeo? Like,
That's beautiful, Herb. See, you
Peace,
them your
Earth.
blessings.
Congratulations.
It is.
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But it's hard
Hold
being
on, where
wise.
you at?
God
Oh,
damn it.
Yeah.
this one.
Is there any more questions?
Yeah. I did have another question. How long before the Earth's knowledge 120, and how long before you understood 120?
Y'all want me to go?
Yeah,
You
let's
go.
So
just all
a
go.
degree a day,
Mm.
120 days. I mean, yeah, 120 days, because a degree a day keeps the devil away.
Peace.
That's A. Um, you will never have understanding because understanding keeps growing. So how you see today, if you're really, really doing the knowledge, you're definitely going to keep adding on to your understanding or taking away, but more than likely you'll be adding on. So understanding is infinite.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
Peace in regards to like my personal history. I started studying 120 when I was knowledge wisdom, but I ain't knowledge 120 till I was knowledge power. And I made there was different hurdles. Like, I knew mathematics and alphabet, and I was just like, like wow to me, right? And then, I know 1 to 10, and that's like wow to me. And then and different little things, it'll be too long of a story to get into happen along the way. It would be like I would get certain places, like I would know the 1 to 10, and I'd be there for months, right? And then an event will happen, or I would meet somebody that would put that fire under me, like I was building about how I would be ducking and dodging from you, Earth. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 13 years old. All I know is the 1 to 36, and I'm like, man, I gotta stop. I gotta learn more if I want to keep coming around here. You know what I'm saying? So you be gone for a little bit, and then you now I know my 1 to 14. I'm gonna pop back up like what's up? You know what I mean? And so there was different events that had transpired in my life, but you know uh when firstborn returned to the essence, that was the event that transpired me from the 18th degree to Pluto in no limited time, you know, because I knew it wasn't time. I had lived through some. That's when I knew, like, oh, this is not a game.
Right.
There was certain things, that I got to see as a young child that I don't want to say robbed me from my innocence, but it definitely made me be a woman at a very young age, right? I remember I was building with a with one of my brothers, and he said and he from overseas, right? From East Africa. And he was saying, um he said in America or in the West, like like they call they put training wheels on being an adult and call it a teenager. And so me having knowledge of self as a teenager, like I went from child to adult, and I got to witness real things and to really understand. So for me it took about probably like approximately like 2.5 years to knowledge 120. but I played around. I had little breaks in between where I was like, playing around. As far as understanding, man, every day I'm like, oh, I just guess, like I'll see something new, or, like every day I'm growing with my degrees. Like, today, today's the knowledge day, and I've been playing around with my actual facts a lot and my solar facts, because it's like, when you build with people, that be the thing that they the weakest in. You know what I'm saying? And so when you was building on Earth, when you was building on, one of the first things my sister said, because listen, like, we talking all chit chatty, but like every sister on this screen right now, they could go through them lessons. You know
Ain't
what
no
I'm
question,
saying?
peace, Earth.
We could,
I like that.
we could all three of us could really go through them lessons,
Ain't
right?
no
And
question.
one of the first things the Earth said was that in every knowledge degree today is the Earth, right? And and when you're dealing in the actual facts, today's degree is the Pacific Ocean, right? And
196,940,000 square miles.
right. So in the science with the Pacific Ocean, that's where the moon come from. That's where the moon come from. And so it's like, when I was thinking about, how I saw myself in the Earth, and dealing with the Pacific Ocean, I'm like, man, that was the degree right there that took me back to my mother.
Hmm.
That took me back to my mother. Like, man, I gotta make a better effort in connecting
And,
with her.
and Earth, I do got another question for y'all in the chat.
I can go
Can I
as well
can I add what on what?
in regards to how long I've had knowledge.
Oh, come on with it.
Right.
Come on with it. Come on with
However,
it. Come on with it.
before we get into the next question,
Come on. Come on,
Give her a
Earth.
little attention.
Come on,
how
Earth.
Love her, right? Love her
Come
spirit.
but
on.
Right.
I,
The question was how long it took you to knowledge 120 and how long it took you to
I'm sitting
understand
here
120.
striving to think, because
Okay.
I actually started 120 in 2009. However, knowledge in 120 wasn't until 2011. And it's funny because the way I also got it was like, in the beginning, it was just like studying for me. Like, I was back in high school, you know what I'm saying? And just, I had something to retain, but I didn't really see them degrees walk until I got on my own. And when I got on my own, it was in the wisdom at a cipher degree in a 1 through 40. And the understanding is always coming. So it took me that long to basically knowledge 120, but to understand 120, like towards the end of me retaining it, it was like the way that, because I taught myself for a minute, from the wisdom at a cipher degree to the wisdom guide degree in a 1 through 40. So for that time frame, it was like I was retaining them because of my situation and my understanding at the time. So that's how they came to me, and that's how I took them. And then just understanding them, like it's an everyday thing, you know. It's literally an everyday thing. Different perspectives and perceptions, you get to see it, you get to see it move. And when you just by yourself and that's what you have, you see it move. Trust me. I know I did. Cause that was what all I had. But yeah, it took me that long because of it's gonna take you however long because of the situation you in. That's basically what I draw from it. Like, that's how long it take you.
Different people learn different ways. I think something I do want to shed light on. I don't shun people who take a while in learning. I'm not really sure how long it took the last Earth I taught. I think maybe 2 years. I don't think it took her longer than 2 years. But the thing is that as an educator, one of the things that I look as an educator, one of the things that I look for is proof of growth and development, not really the speed, but that they're making the effort, right? Because
Right.
people have lives. Like I've taught people who are like going to school, who are working, who are single mothers, who are, doing things. So they have to make time for their level of self-study, right? And so that's why it's like, that's why we have to target and teach the youth too. Like I don't really be trying to teach no more, no much anymore, so much people that are too much older, not because I feel like an older person can't get it, but the older you are, the more responsibilities you have. Okay.
Right.
So when I'm like all my students now are younger than 25 years old. These are young girls who are still living at home with their mother, and the most they got to worry about is a cell phone bill. You know what I'm saying? And
If
that's
that.
I could teach her so much quicker than I could teach my peer who is probably a single mother or who's working 2 or 3 jobs or something like that. And so it's like, I will make time to teach anybody, regardless to age. A lot of things that a lot of ideas that I used to embody when I was younger, I no longer embody no more, because you have to have fast thinking and swift movement in modern times. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to, get with modern times in a certain way. So
Ain't
now,
no question.
of course, like I love to teach younger people, but you have to put yourself in positions to teach younger people. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what is everybody doing in their homes? Like, how are you
Mm.
gonna, how I have young students, or I have the ear of young women, because I have children who bring
Right.
their friends home.
Right.
Because I'm teaching my children, and I have teenagers, they bring their friends home. They teenagers coming in my house, they already see the flag on the wall. As soon as they walk in, they see the big dry erase board with the day's mathematics. They like, my children flex in front of their friends like, I'm the God. Mom, tell them what I am. See, I told you, my mom told me I'm the God. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this is, and then so now we're starting to be able to teach our children's friends. And so that's how, man, you don't teach your children. You can't really, well, we could say, yo,
And,
teach the young, but you teach the young through your children. What, you gonna be an old man or woman at a park?
yeah.
I'm too old to be at the park right now without a baby. These is different times.
Peace to the earth. Earth, really quick. I got my questions. The questions stacking up. I want to make sure y'all get them, cause they getting in here and they coming for the earth. So I got a few questions. My man's real quick too. Peace to the God. Life of law. Peace, great God. My man, life of law. Yeah. Oh
God.
yeah. Yeah. We it's going up on Instagram. We got a nice little build going on the gram. So peace to the God, peace to all the questions, man. Listen, man, if you enjoying this stream, and you want to support the 5% Connection, man, you want to support this podcast, you can go to the 5%connection.live/tips. So look, let me get to y'all next question. Anthony D Berry, or no, Uptown Union SC on Instagram said, "Peace. What's the Queen's perspective on monogamy or polygamy?" So that's the
Yeah.
Your
first question,
business.
and then I got another one, and then
It's your business. You know what I'm
mm,
saying?
It's
It's
your
your
business.
business.
ooh shit.
It's your business. It's your choice. It's whatever that you and your woman agreed on.
Absolutely.
It's your business and your choice. Some people in this. Listen, this is the world. This is not our culture. We live in a world that's ever changing and ever growing. This we acknowledge. Like, listen, people have different ways. You know what I'm saying? Some people are poly. Some people are monogamous. Like, as in regards to me and how I identify. Um, that has been situational in my life. You know what I'm saying? Where I've been with men who had other women, and I've been with men who only had me as a woman. That really depends on the magnetic of the brother. You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
And the things that um he could do, or what he wants, or what the two people agree upon. So I'm, as far as me, I'm flexible, in both of my views. Yeah, I'm flexible. I'm flexible, but
It's our
like
culture.
Not
However,
me.
we gotta live it out beautifully. And when you see
Not
it
me.
lived
I'm
out
greedy.
beautifully, it's
That's
gonna
my
be
piece of chicken on the
yes.
plate. Do not put your fork if you want to keep your hand. Don't touch my meat. That's mine. Okay? It is one Earth in the solar system. You want to be a moon? Go get some motherfucking big ass gassy chick with a bunch of rocks around her. I'm the goddamn Earth.
Jupiter.
No, no, no. And I will let my black man know in our first conversation. You want to keep that pickle, brother? You keep it with me. Okay? As soon as you start trying to share that pickle around like it's a flyer, bye bye, baby. Bye bye. I'm
Because the
territorial about mine. I don't even like chicks talking to my guy. Who you? Where you from? What is you doing in my God face? Like, he don't need just shit. He has a whole home of Islam. Fuck is you? Add on somewhere else, shorty. ASAP. A fucking sap. Fuck out of here. That's my point of view. I'm old
Peace,
school.
sir.
You know what I mean? That's just my seed. That's the era I come from. You know.
again though, you living it out beautifully. You gotta live it out beautifully, whether it's monogamous or polygamous. And when y'all have that understanding, people gonna see, and it's gonna be what it is, and that's how it is in our culture, and that's
You
what
know
I'm
what?
saying
I want to
about
say
that.
this though. I want to say this.
I come on, Irv. I do got a couple more
You
questions for
could.
y'all too.
No, I want to say this. Right.
Go ahead.
You could oppress people with your words.
Ooh, damn.
Okay. You could oppress people with your words, and so, like, you see how all of us just spoke. We spoke unto ourselves. You know. Even my sister. Well, with me, I don't like to share my man. With me, I sound flexible. Mecca said her. But to say this is how it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or no,
no,
this is nah. That's nah. Nah. It's the same way with we have like a diet, but everybody kind of, some people vegetarian, some people vegans. Don't oppress people with your words, meet people where they at in regards to their level of understanding,
peace,
so if somebody just want to deal with monogamy, you ain't got to sit and argue with her and try to convince her to be polygynist.
peace,
Go find a if polygamy is so attractive, go find a woman who wants to do that. I just said I'm flexible to it. So there are women who are flexible to that. You don't need to try to oppress somebody with your wisdom in regards to trying to push your understanding on them.
peace,
And
Earth.
whatever that understanding may be, it could be diet, it could be how you study your lessons, it could be how you're raising your children. It's like, no, if you see, and this is not even just for the gods, this is for the earths too. If you building with a brother and you see, okay, well, I don't like this or I don't like that, you ain't gonna make him do what you want him to do. Just that's not the person for you. Go
Right,
find somebody who embodies how you want to live. If that's a poly lifestyle, if that's a monogamous lifestyle, if that's a vegan lifestyle, if that's a vegetarian lifestyle, you're gonna have to find somebody that embodies that. And that's it. But don't oppress people with your words and say, because when people meet me all the time and they be like, you, if they heard about gods and earths before, they immediately, sometimes they have a nasty demeanor, if they have a level of consciousness. And then when they kick it with me, they go, man, I ain't never kicked it with nobody that kicked it like you before. Because I don't care if you believe what I believe. I
Facts.
don't care if you know what I know. I don't care if you teach what I teach. I don't care if you're raising your child. I don't care if your relationship ain't like, I don't care.
peace,
And so it's like we gotta reach that point where we're not like, oh, you gotta dress like this, or you not the earth if you man, well, nah. It's like there are certain cultural requirements. You know what I'm saying? And then when we start talking about the real ones, people get quiet like 120. Oh, you want to get, now it's this. You understand what I'm saying? Now it's this. But you want to oppress me with all types of, the relationship view or dietary view, or to bring me to your level of understanding, or you might be bringing me under. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? Like, come on. It's like everybody live how they live, and you find somebody that's kicking it. Just like I was saying earlier, when when you get knowledge, and this is regardless if you're a man or a woman, choose your educator, right? Because sometimes, and listen, I gotta tell on some of us, because I was like this when I was a young 5% with 120. Some of us want to just teach somebody so bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that is impressed upon us, because what's impressed upon us is if you can't teach somebody this, you ain't one of us, right? So we sometimes we want to teach people so bad that we don't realize I'm not a good fit for this person.
Right.
I can't listen. I've met somebody recently that I was like, you know what? I'm not a good fit for this person because they're going through something. They're going through something that I'm just going through right now. I don't have no wisdom for them. I'm just learning what they're learning right now at 21, at 36. I have no wisdom for this girl. And so we have to be honest with certain things. You understand what I'm saying? Where we at in regards to our growth and development, and stop oppressing people. You know, don't oppress people with your wisdom, because they're gonna carry the burden of your understanding.
Peace,
You know?
Earth. Really quick. I want to throw this one out there from our brother, the God Life Allah, man. He said, "What is the role and responsibility of the Earth in this nation?" Great
Everything.
question.
Everything.
Uh-oh.
The planet Earth is the home of Islam. And we got the best part, right? Firstborn Prince always talked about that. The Earth has a best part, a poor part, and a worst part. So we already know the devil is out onto the worst part. And the black man keeps the best part for himself. So being the home of Islam, everything, that whole role, being sometimes you have to be your God's doctor. You have to tell him, baby, you didn't sleep. You didn't sleep well last night. I slept next to you. I was in the same bed with you. You didn't sleep well last night. We gotta change what you ate. What you ate yesterday must have not sat well with you. What you went through yesterday must have been more difficult. Let me be your psychiatrist right now. Let me let you lay down on the couch and talk and vent. And then you got to also be able to keep his words to yourself, because what your black man shares with you, he don't share with everyone. So you have to show his honor and his respect. You can't get mad at him and put him out the house and divorce him, and then now all his business is out there. No, you got to keep all of his, not his secrets, but you got to keep all that he holds in high regard. You got to keep that. So you got to be a financial bank, a mental bank. You have to be a teacher. You have to be a reminder to him, because sometimes he goes, because it's hard being someone with knowledge of self, man or woman or child. It's hard. So 95% of the people you come into contact with are not your people. So some days are harder than others. So sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the moment and get to your God, and then be able to vent to your God. Maybe y'all both had a bad day, but maybe you was home first and you had a little time to soothe. So now he's home, and now you got to let him unwind and then bring it back and bounce. It's a relay. Relationships, the prefix is relay. So there's one taking and one giving. One taking, you got to be able to have that harmony. That's that role. And you have to always be there to fix his crown when he's tilting. You got to be your doctor. You got to be that nurse. You got to be that cremator. Firstborn Prince told me I was the sweetest little cremator he knew. A cremator is someone that burns anyone faking moves with mathematics. Sometimes you got to tell your God, that brother energy was off. I don't like that. I wasn't comfortable with him here. I wasn't comfortable with the way he was speaking. You know, he said a lot of disrespectful things about women. We have daughters. I don't want that around my daughters. You know, so you got to be a reminder. You can't be scared of your God. You got to be very, very comfortable with your counterpartner, man and woman. And y'all have to both be open. So as the earth, my responsibility is everything. Everything and anything is my responsibility.
Peace. I want to add on to that. When we talk about Islam, one of my one of my favorite acronyms for that is I self lady and mother, you know? And so when we talk about the responsibility of the earth, to me is teaching my children, you know, and making sure that they that they're in the right regardless to whom or what, you know, and just advancing myself. Like that's my responsibility when I say I'm the earth, you know, that I'm advancing myself through my children, that, you know, I have to have honest conversations with them now because, you know, when you have your children, especially when you have, you know, the child assigned to the sex that you are. So it's like I didn't see myself until I had my daughter. She was my last. I had two sons and I thought I knew everything about motherhood until I saw myself. No different than a father think he might know everything about fatherhood until he see himself, you know, and the responsibility of the earth is that I'm correcting my errors in real time in regards to my children, right? And I'm just showing my daughter how to be a better person through the things and the trials that I have been through. Because I think that that's something that a lot of times I have a knowledge of self, especially when I'm teaching people, and I can see like kind of how they look at me at first, and I'm like, nah, I'm not. Don't play the holy part. Don't play the like we got it all figured out because we're all growing and learning too. And so just that's my responsibility as the earth to teach it how I got it, you know, which I got it in a communal way, in a family way. So that's the way I teach it, you know, and to teach my children, you know, and just to leave everything better than when I got it. That's it. We supposed to leave this better than when we got it, you know? And so yeah, that's my duty, you know.
Mecca, anything you want to add on to that?
Well, just through this way of life, it's taught me to become a woman of distinction. And through becoming a woman of distinction, I've learned how to be, you know, how to act, you know, and how to raise my children. Just through seeing my sisters and the way that they raise their children, you know. A woman of distinction, you know, what you add on, you know, and what you taking away too.
Word, no doubt.
I'm feeling that, sister.
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
taking that on
So,
all my tablets. That's
Mm-hmm.
my OCD, a woman of distinction. I'm
Urs,
Mm-hmm.
feeling
That's what I
that.
think about. That's my role. Like my role literally like is righteousness and what that is. Like if you gonna say that, be it. And if that's what you are naturally, that's I'm distinct from the others. I'm Mecca. That's who I come in the name of. You know, I'm
Right.
the best
Mm.
part. You know, I'm the
Okay.
best part of me. Like I ain't gonna break my name down. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just what I see and the way that I see myself and how I interpret my mathematics because they're logical, but they're also mathematical and they're practical and they're likened to me. And that's the distinction, you know, especially as you grow in this, like, and when you grow in your knowledge. Because I just been looking back like, dang, it's been that long. Like, wow, I'm proud of my own growth and development, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
just being a woman of distinction, being a teacher, being somebody, a helping hand. And I always come through with the help because that's just naturally me. I'm a nurse, you know, whether we have a degree or not, we're nurses. Like midwifery didn't start in a hospital, it started at home. It started, you know, that's where it started at, even on plantations, you know. So
and,
being a woman of distinction.
Earth to the Earth. I just want to say, man, this has been a really, really, really dope build. I've been appreciating y'all adding on. I do got a couple more questions for y'all. Wise Asia, the God self save y'all on Instagram said it's past 90 days. Unblock you, brother. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud.
Yo, hold on. I'm about to tell the self savior you gonna wait longer than that because I think this is the first time she talked to me in 5 years. You got like 4 years. Come on, man.
Nah,
Nah,
sis.
it's probably been like 2 years. I'm
Nah,
lying.
sister, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon because I called you when I got to Medina, and I've been in Medina like 5 years. And you hit me with the, I'm gonna hit you. You gave me a little talk. You was talking to me about my hair. You was like, "Oh, my sister, you're so beautiful. I'm gonna call you back."
That was it. We
So
real we a
yeah,
real
sis.
we everybody a real family though, and the
Oh
thing
yeah.
is that we have like
Oh yeah.
like
It's definitely our family. The guy said as it relates to being taught, can you explain rooted knowledge versus branch knowledge as it pertains to the earth? And earth, I know I don't want to keep y'all too long. I was only supposed to keep y'all an
right
hour.
Right.
right.
So I'm gonna ask everybody to this might be the last one, but come on, if you can, come on, if y'all
Can we
can,
get a better question? Was there other
yeah, it was
questions?
that was the last
I
questions.
oh that was the last. I
As
was
it
gonna say
relates to being taught, can you explain rooted knowledge versus branch knowledge as it
I think
pertains to
that's
the
some
earth?
dumb shit. I
yeah,
think,
I don't even
yeah,
Rooted
that's some dumb shit. First of
you know
all,
Earth,
rooted
come on,
knowledge versus
come on.
branch
We
knowledge.
can show
Oh
I
shit,
I I don't
Would rooted knowledge be something that you
that's a
internalize,
good
and
one.
branch knowledge would be something that somebody else said?
do he mean the women that
Uh,
just say
that's
do he
life a
mean the
lot. That's
women
life
that
a
are
lot.
just say the
oh, that's
brothers
my
earth and not
uncle.
the earth?
That's life
Like
a lot. That's
That's
like
my uncle life. I
yes,
wonder if that's my uncle life.
from the
My
desert.
big brother. Let me not call him uncle because he gonna fuck me up. But is that my big brother life from Ohio?
No, I think
That's
the
the
guy from the desert,
Oh,
if
that's
I'm not
not my
mistaken.
brother. I think I know that's Life of Law with the dreads, right,
Nope.
sis?
Uh
no.
uh-uh. Uh.
That's not Life
That's
of Law with
not
the
his
dreads.
part. That's the guy
Nah,
was
nah,
on
nah,
here
nah,
talking
nah. Yeah,
about him the
the guy's
last
been on
time.
on our podcast
Yeah.
before. Life of
He
Law.
don't got dreads. He not like a wisdom
The
seed.
guy,
no
Uncle.
God,
the
no.
guy, like almost like y'all's complexion. I would say he
Oh, I
closer to like
definitely
yeah,
don't
like
know him.
the guy was like a wisdom seed. I would. He like a brown seed.
He
He
like
have
the
locks? If
last
the
of the
guy had
wisdom,
locks,
No.
I didn't
beginning of
know
the
him when he had
wisdom.
locks.
Yeah,
If
he
he did
does.
have
Cause
locks,
he,
I
I
would just
know who
say,
we talking about, and
oh, say
he's
you're not talking about. We not talking. I don't know.
glasses.
The guy
It,
said he had locks.
go back to the question.
Yeah, the guy gave knowledge to see I kill.
I do know him because
Yes.
I do know
Yeah,
that clip.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't.
he
I
built on the
see.
science of him.
I don't see
Yeah.
rooted and branch because let me pat myself on the back. Here we go with my tree. Okay, so my tree goes like this. I got this from firstborn Prince Law. Firstborn Prince got this from Black Messiah. Black Messiah got this from Allah. Allah got this from Temple number 7 when Malcolm X was running it. Malcolm X got this from the so-called Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Elijah Muhammad is answering the questions in 120, who was taught by W.D. Farad. So if you counted all those names, I'm 6 people away from the man who brought this knowledge here. And am I rooted? Would you consider that rooted knowledge? Because I literally stand on the shoulders of giants.
Mm.
All of those names that I mentioned are some heavy names. So would you say that I'm a rooted earth because I got taught by firstborn and that's his tree? Or did I get branch knowledge? Because we're all getting branch knowledge. We all got knowledge from somebody who had the fucking knowledge. So root knowledge and branch, it sounds like trickery. It may not, that may not be the God's perception, because I know the people he run with and they're not into that. Um, so, but it sounds like some type of trickery because we're all rooted in 120. We're all rooted in supreme mathematics, but we all branches of somebody else's level. We're branches of our parents. If our parents weren't who
Right.
they were and giving us what they gave us, we
Jesus,
would never have
Jesus.
what we had.
Right.
Yo, Earth, to add on to that, I'm so happy you said that because that was my you know the mind travels at speeds that only the mind could detect, sis. Because the next thing I was gonna say is that I see this you know this importance. People fail to realize the importance of being able to trace yourself back, right? Just like my sister Wise Asia was building about. It's because you were supposed to take that knowledge and and, and and take your own self back in your own physical lineage. You know, like these people could tell me so many people down the line of who taught this, who taught them that, but ask them their great grandmother's name. That was, and people really miss that fact. Why do you think that we was burnt to learn all of Allah's history? So you could go look at your father and say, Daddy, how many brothers and sisters you got? What's their names?
Right.
Which one of them rescued you from the pool when you was drowning?
Uh-huh.
You know, we were supposed to take that same frame of mind and go back with our own physical lineages. Because that's all I do when I talk to mine. When I'm sitting down talking to my well, I'm like, tell me about this, or tell me that story again when grandma stepped on the rusty nail in Puerto Rico and had the baby early because she got sepsis in her blood. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I make them tell me these stories again because that's what we were supposed to do with this knowledge. We're supposed to take that and transcend that into, and that's how you make it knowledge of self.
Right.
That's how you make it the knowledge of self. Not by memorizing somebody else's history, by taking that framework and applying it to your own. You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we went way past the hour.
We did.
Yo, Earth, and I definitely appreciate the Earth so much. It's been amazing build. Just having y'all on here has been just a really dope pleasure. You know, I told you know, me and my Earth as well as Wisdom, you know, we've been talking about it. You know, we really want to make, you know, the Earth's, we want to give the Earth's part of this platform, because this ain't just the God platform, it's the Earth platform.
Right.
And I think
Right.
it's really important. And you know, when y'all go back and y'all watch and y'all see the comments, you know, it's a lot of sisters, a lot of brothers saying, yo, my Earth and my daughter, they really enjoying this, really enjoying hearing this culture, you know, coming from the other, our counterpart, the other side of us. So we really want to keep this, we're going to keep this, you know, either the first half or the second half of the God and Earth Hour podcast with the Earths in here and the Earths, you know, being able to kick they bill and, you know, really just build. And it's really, this has really been beautiful, Earth. I like to commend you, Earths. And,
Thank you, Freedom.
I appreciate it. I do.
Man,
I
you're
definitely
my brother
do.
mathematics.
I definitely do appreciate it. And to Brooklyn Boxing Youth Organization, you said, peace to the gods and earth. Why is it so hard to find the teachings of the nation outside, and why it's not, man? If you watching this live, and all, I'm just saying that because our goal here at the 5% Connection is to make the process easy. All you got to do is go to the 5percentconnection.com.
Right.
Hit the link, put your information in, and we'll connect you to the gods and earths wherever you
and
located.
I want to say this. I know you got to go, but I want to say this, right? Because I want to, you know, I know certain things, like especially, you know, even though I'm younger, I'm understanding equality. All my peers and knowledge are from an older generation because I was very young when I had this. And so when I was younger, I had, even until recent times, I had these like views like, I'm not teaching nobody. Oh, if I meet somebody offline, nah, da da da. And you know, I used to embody that type of like persona, but like with the I just want to applaud my brother Freedom because he actually connected me with a sister that she lived like 45 minutes away from me.
Right.
You know, and that's been my student for the past year, maybe almost 2 years now through the 5% Connect. You know what I mean? And we was able to make that real, you know, connect in real time where she don't have nobody up here. I'm in Northern New York. You know, she don't have, there's nobody up here, you know, in my side. I'm not like Rochester side. I'm like north of Syracuse, you know, way north of Syracuse, you know? So it's like that branch was able to connect to somebody in real time. And this is my real sister. She was just here last week and we have dinners together. I teach her how to cook. Like I don't just teach this culture and making a woman memorize some lessons. No, like I'm teaching them herbs. I'm teaching them medicine along with these degrees, you know? So I just wanted to applaud this platform because I don't do a lot of public speaking. The last person that got me to publicly speak was Saladin. I'm not really big on publicly speaking, but I'm big on this platform. And I think this is a peace platform. And I'm living proof that it connects people in real time because I'm walking with people I done met through this platform, you know? So I just want to say peace to y'all, you know?
Don't send me nobody. I don't like people.
No.
And I think she might be trying to throw some coochie at my God. Don't.
Oh,
Nah, I'm playing. Just jokes. Just jokes. Just jokes.
No, we already know. We what I will say, Herb, and your history speaks for you that you've been adding on and been teaching and been guiding sisters. For you've been putting in your work, and your name definitely rings some bells. It's some time to pass some torches. It ain't nothing wrong with letting these young sisters handle these young pro folks coming incoming. That's what
right,
we here for.
right,
That's a fact. That's
right,
definitely a fact. And it's crazy because we lost so many sisters last
right,
year.
Yeah.
We
right,
lost Wisdom, Understanding, Queen
right.
Cipher, Asia, Mean.
Me, right.
Um, I forgot the sister that did the
The
dolls.
dolls, yeah.
Watisha.
Watisha,
Watisha.
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 We
That really
lost her.
man.
We lost so many women. Like I'm
Right.
one of the elders. I don't even know how the fuck
You
that
are,
happened.
you are,
Like,
you are. Yeah.
and matter of fact, I want to say this on the platform because I want to find my Aelite. So y'all need to come out. And if y'all know these sisters, bring them out because I believe I am the last earth, active earth, that was taught by a firstborn.
Mm, mm,
I don't know of any other sister that was taught like my sister Chanetta. Her mother was Asia Mean, who was
mm,
her firstborn in Medina.
mm.
But I don't have other sisters that got it
That was,
from that first wave that are still
mm,
active. So
mm,
wherever y'all are, please come out. I
mm.
implore you to come out, come out, come out wherever you are. I feel alone. I feel like I'm the last Mohegan.
Oh.
Something made her upset. What made you upset, Mecca?
No, did I? I didn't know. My bad. I think I had. I don't think they could.
No, Mecca,
It was.
she looked like she
They
just
couldn't
saw
see
I'm
a roach
flustered.
in a mouse. Like,
you. No. What I was about to say. Yo, we gonna be
She
our
said
our,
a
our,
roach.
our goal is we gonna make sure that we have the Earths on. We looking to have the Earths on, if not every episode, maybe every other episode.
Every other.
And right now it's looking like every other episode, but the way the response is looking, we
But
really
it would,
gonna
it would, it
we
would
really
be
gonna have
cool
to
if
keep
they
this
had,
going. Look,
or
really,
maybe if you could like set up an email or some type of flyer or
we
something, if
gonna
people want
work
to
it.
ask like certain questions, you know what I'm saying? They could submit them.
Yeah,
You know.
well, what I would say to Earth, based off of the response, we may have to look into seeing how we can work it to get y'all on here for a little bit every episode or every other
No,
episode
no.
or whatever. I'm not saying like y'all, this group of Earths in
Right, we
particular.
gotta take.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms
And
of
then,
just the Earths,
right,
like as
because
a
people
whole. You know
just,
what I mean?
because we all have a different experience and how we got the knowledge and how we carry it, and things like that, and that needs to be showcased. Like, what does the
Hmm.
earth look like when she has a God? What does the earth look like that is single? What does the earth look like that was raised in this nation? What is the earth? There's so many different,
Because we have so many
layers and
women. Yeah,
perspectives
like
and
we
that,
have
that
teachers here, we have
right,
herbalists here. It's so many
right.
great women. Like, I just want to say peace to all the earths in the
Hmm.
nation right now.
Yeah,
Because we
all
have
my
so
great
many
sisters.
great women in the nation that
Hmm.
contribute to our nation too. So, yeah.
Word, word. So look, man, I'm about to bring the God up. Herbs, I just want to say I appreciate y'all so much. It has been absolutely dope. It's been absolutely amazing. Having the Herbs up here, man. If y'all in the chat on the gram, man, please like the stream. Show the Earth some love. Let me get some hearts, man. Y'all make sure y'all
Peace.
support the
Peace,
channel,
wisdom.
support the content. We do got some great merch for y'all to check out. Y'all can check us out at theknowledgeofselfstore.com. If you want to donate to the stream and donate to the live stream, you can go to the 5%connection.live/tips. Show us some love on the stream. And support us, man. That's how we keep this thing going and keep the platform rolling and keep coming with this great content and great information, man. So You know, it was definitely a beautiful pleasure. Earth, anything y'all want to lead the people with?
Don't forget to fast. Okay,
Peace.
I'm on my first day of a 7 day water fast. We fast in this culture. Okay, if you did not fast for your mathematics, you didn't get this right. Okay,
Right.
and second of all, if the last time you fasted was when you got your mathematics, you need to start a 3 day fast tomorrow. Okay,
Right.
that's my that's my that's my take on it. And, drinking alkaline water.
Girl.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Earth, anything you want to lead the people with?
Um, if this was a man, I would marry it. This is my favorite. If y'all see me and you like me, like just on civilization, not
Huh?
romance. But if you ever give me this
What
water,
is this, sir? What is that?
Icelandic, its pH is
I
8.4.
Oh, fancy. Okay.
It's
I think
called
I'm
ice.
I think I'm drinking 8.8 right now. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know.
and sense and
And
the other one that starts with the E. But this is my favorite.
That's it.
This is my favorite. I will be your friend. I will listen to you if you give me this bottle of water.
If you
If
give me
you
some
approach me,
alkaline water, I'll listen to you.
man, woman, or child, if you approach me with this bottle, I will listen to what you have to say. Bet that.
Earth, Mecca, anything you want to lead the people with? Earth?
yeah, I would say follow the Root Herbal Apothecary. Um,
Peace, sir.
it's online. However, I make it in my home.
Link in the
So
bio.
huh?
I said no. The link is in the bio.
Oh yeah. Like so, it's in my home. However, we you can follow it there, and if you have any questions or any inquiries about anything skin related, diet related, please follow. We have products, medicated shea butter. We have teas. We have
Peace.
tinctures,
Tensions.
um, and anything that,
I'll bring them.
yeah, like anything that needs to be addressed or likened to you. But remember, it always starts in your diet and in your way of thinking. So, follow the Root Herbal Apothecary on Instagram.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Wise
See,
Asia self savior said. I guess he said that's how he getting unblocked. Then he gonna have to come with the water.
so Savior gonna stop playing with me. So Savior, you stop talking to me. I was calling you. So this is the problem with family. Yo, we don't know how to treat each other right. So
Right. Right.
Savior need to cut this shit, okay?
No doubt, no doubt. So yeah, herbs. It's definitely been an absolute pleasure and an absolute peace with y'all. If y'all can't, y'all hop off. Make sure. Oh, let me see. Let me make sure. I'm gonna make sure I get it in there. We not about to get off right now. I'm definitely about to put it in there. The Root Herbal Apothecary. You want to go to the Root Herbal Apothecary on Instagram. Let me drop it in here. The Root Herbal. Make sure I put it at the top. Yep, I got you, bro. For self visuals. Yep, the Root Herbal Apothecary. I got you. I'm about to put it in there right now. But yes, listen, Earths. I thank y'all. Wise Asia, Wisdom Be Born, Mecca. It's been an absolute pleasure and peace having y'all Earths with us. I'm about to bring me and the not me and the guy. I'm about to.
Tell my brother I said peace.
Which one? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he right here. He said peace,
Oh.
peace to the earth.
Peace to the earth.
Let me see what he look like. I don't know.
Wise Asia.
I just want to see who talking.
Come on, Earth, because we about the guys, but I gotta bring the guys up anyway. Come on, peace to the. We got the. No, Earth, you good?
Invite me to something. I want to go to D.
We got you, Earth.
Listen, peace to the Earths. I love y'all.
All right.
Love you
y'all.
too, sis. Peace.
And Earth, we got you. You didn't come on. We gonna get you out here for Family Day. Me and IC was talking about that.
I want to go. I want to be there.
We want to bring a few guys and nurse out here, man, for the family day.
Who's this individual everybody was so hyped to see?
I'm bringing my man Ice. This the guy.
talking
This the
about
guy. IC a lot. We're bringing IC up to the stage. That's the Earth right there. That's the Earth that's Wise Asia that's been on here with us.
Peace, sir.
Peace, God.
Earth
I
is
just wanted to be nosy because I heard your name and everybody got like all excited and shit. I wanted to get excited too. You know, I didn't want to be left out.
Peace, sir. Yeah, it was my pleasure to meet you. You know, I did the knowledge of your videos on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. That's peace. It's nice to
All
finally meet
right.
you.
I'm gonna not hog up y'all stuff. I'm gonna let the gods build. I'm gonna go back with my planets and shit.
peace, Earth. It's
No
been an
doubt, peace.
absolute pleasure having you on here. And check the build out too. We still gonna be live. It's just me and the guy about to hold the rest of
Send
the
me
show down.
up. All right.
I'm gonna have the Earth send you the link.
All right. Peace, God.
All right, peace, Earth.
Peace, sir.
Peace, God.
Yeah, I see, man. Welcome to the stage, God.
Peace, peace.
Man. So what did you think so far about the show tonight, man? It's been
No, it was
It's
I was
been
just sitting
live.
Back, yeah, I was sitting back doing the knowledge, you know. Listen to the questions being asked.
it's been
you know,
live
the comments,
tonight.
you know, yo, it was nice. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what the end result's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I know the people got a kick out of that one. Word is
Man,
bond, you know what
oh
I'm saying? The Earth
yeah.
is going.
Man.
It's always nice to hear the Earth bill, you know, and them two particular Earths right there, they just have so much, you know, to give. It's always a pleasure just to, you know, sit
Word.
back and, you know, can soak up that wisdom,
Knowledge the wisdom. No, you ain't
No
lying.
doubt.
Peace to the God.
you know.
No, man. I definitely agree with you on that, God. And you know, for anybody who just joining in, who might have missed the whole stream, man, if you didn't, I mean, man, it was some dope. It definitely was some sauce.
Hey, listen, and the way they went out, when you asked them, you know, the things to lead, the way they went out with it's like, all I can say to myself is like, you know, just being such an earth. That's just so womanly, so earthly. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you fast. You know, if you ain't fasting since you got knowledge, you know, fast right now. You know.
Even that's what I was thinking. You ain't hear the Earth early. Even though she said the woman ain't the wisdom. She said the woman ain't the wisdom. I said, oh shit. That's he killed me. I was like, oh snap.
Whatever
man.
that the Earth said, study from the book of herbal aromatherapy.
Oh yeah,
What
the
is
Earth
that?
was dropping it.
What
They
was the
dropping
name of that? I don't
It
even
was
know
a
the
bunch
name.
of-
I never even heard the name of that. What is that?
It was a bunch of jewels getting
I'm
dropped.
gonna have to go back and
Yo,
rewind the tapes on that one.
Yo, it was a bunch of jewels getting dropped.
I'm talking
It was
about
a
tapes.
bunch
We
of
don't even
jewels.
got tapes anymore. See, a lot of y'all youngsters don't even know what a tape is.
Yeah, it was all. It was just. I was like, man, the Earth put up so many jewels.
Yeah.
The whole bill. I was like, man, goodness.
Yo, I was just sitting back there just laughing, you know what I'm saying, enjoying myself, just doing the knowledge to the bill. You know, sometimes it's nice, you know, to be able to sit back behind the scenes and kick back and do the knowledge and enjoy yourself. You know, listening to the bill on the live stream and whatnot. So yeah, that was live. That was nice. We gotta do that more often. Make sure we get the herbs back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
We gotta make sure we get the herbs back.
Absolutely, we got to get the Earth back, God, and
Like
as
you said,
well.
we gotta make that a regular part of the programming.
Yeah,
more
absolutely,
often.
absolutely, God. As well as, you know, having this Earth, the Earth bill a part of the program. You know what I mean? And moreover, you know, we always had an Earth on.
Yeah.
Come and kind of build and add on to her perspective.
Might have to get them their own show on the network, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Well, not. I mean, I would just say, just even like how we doing it to where the Earth's able to build, the Earth's able to add on to they build and to their perspective, and then we able to add on to what we on.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And we able to add
But
on.
that's what it's about. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
peace,
right?
God.
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely what it's
God
about.
in the earth hour.
That's definitely what it's about. Man, so for anybody who was just joining, man, you know, the Earth was dealing with etiquette and womanhood, and
Well, not. I mean, I would just
hold
say,
on
just
real
even like how
quick.
we're going where the Earth's able to
God,
build.
you gotta mute your hold on. We was able to. It was just really dope, God, to really be able to get both perspectives, man. So for anybody who just joined in, man, we was talking about etiquette. We was talking about womanhood. The Earth was dealing with etiquette, womanhood, what it means to be an Earth in this culture, the Earth's mindset in this culture. And you know, we wasn't gonna be on here too long, but I just wanted to add on. And me and the guy had spoke on this earlier, just about the rite of passage, right? Just about the other side of that for me. We talk about being the earth and what it mean to be earth. And the other side of that, in terms of God, in terms of manhood, is what do we go through to become who we are? The rite of passage, the steps and stages, everybody that we go through to become who we are, man. And
Yeah, that's a whole nother show. You know what I'm saying? In and
yeah,
of itself.
it's
Word
definitely,
is bond.
it's definitely,
'Cause it's definitely the rite of passage.
oh yeah. And well, any thoughts that you would say on that, God?
Well, just to add on to the idea of the fact that it is a rite of passage, and regardless to whom or what, every individual is going to have to come to a point to where they're going to have to understand and realize the knowledge of themselves. If you ask me, you don't even have a choice in the matter. At one point or another, it's going to come across, your path, and you're going to have to make that choice of whether you're going to accept it or reject it. And once you accept it or reject it, then that's going to determine, the rest of the path that you're going to be on from that point on. But however, the way, and this is my own personal see, I think that everyone comes to a point, what I'm saying, within their cycles of Qurans that they're going to be approached, or that they're going to come face to face with the opportunity to accept or reject the knowledge itself. It's just natural.
True indeed, God. And man, we done had it. We done had some dope guests, man. I got one of my big brothers in here with us. I had to bring
Peace,
the God
God.
on. Peace to the
God.
God.
Peace.
The God was in the comments a little earlier, man. He said, "Yo, God, let me get in this cipher, man. Let me clarify some shit."
Yo, the guy ready. The guy ready. You look at the guy ready. Peace.
I understand we was chicken now. We pieces of chicken now. You know what I mean? But yeah, God. First,
peace, God.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the gods and earths. This is the God life of law. This was a very, very, very outstanding bill with the earths, because sometimes their voices never heard, only in the background. So it's good to see.
Word.
You know what I mean? Wise Asia and the rest of the earths bill and add on how they see fit. Today's mathematics is knowledge, right? And I asked a question, or I asked a few questions in the...
you got to do some good questions in there, God.
Yeah. And the last question seemed to be ridiculed as it relates to root knowledge and branch knowledge. So I want to add on to that as it relates to the knowledge. The earth spoke about her tree, right? And all of us, as everybody know, I break mines down. You know what I'm saying? I got my knowledge, you know what I mean? July 7, 1981, from the God Supreme Mind, who got it from Allah Real, who got it from Old Man Justice, and we already know the rest of the story. You know what I mean? It's that simple, right? I pose that question because in this day and time of artificial intelligence, where motherfuckers is getting shit off the internet and getting it from other sources instead of coming home to the place and where it all began, the knowledge and wisdom started, you know what I mean, when Allah the Father brought it to the first, is that when you stray away from the root, it becomes a branched reality in terms of how it should be taught. Now, I got it from word to mouth, mouth to ear, and then on paper. And then it was my responsibility at that time not to just take on face value what was told to me, but understand the value of what was what? Observed, which is why when we say do the knowledge, look, listen, and learn, and keep your mouth shut, right? And the experience, which is that 9,000, we all have to swim, or else we drown in another man or another woman's iniquity. You see what I'm saying? Based upon. Now, one more thing I want to add to that, right? In the reality of what we call branch knowledge as it relates to, in these areas of knowledge that we're supposed to seek, right? Because we're supposed to seek the knowledge, find out what works for us, what doesn't work, right? And then we get it from individuals who may not have lived it out completely. Some fell victim, and that's a fact. We all can, you know what I mean? Some fell victim to the reality of what they was dealing with at the time, right? Now, our responsibility based upon the 3 and the 8, understanding how to build, is to show forth and prove who we are without falling victim to the devil's civilization, right? To what's going on today, based upon those who've taken those vaccines, those who continue to say that they God in earth, but yet they still submitting to the will of who? Devil, which is a what? Grafted, weak and wicked man or idea of a man based upon his lack of social equality that he doesn't want to give to us. My point is, in a relation to root knowledge, you have a divine revelation. When you get this knowledge for the first time that the black man is God, it is an eye-opening experience, especially if you're walking with the true and living gods. I'm not talking about the gods who put on the regalia of God and still do shit like 85%. I'm talking about those who put on the armor of God and live it out 25 hours a day, and don't forget the leap year. Meaning that we go out and do what we do regardless to whom or what, and teach the human family how we are God. Now, the rites of passage that was spoke on briefly, it is true that if you get this knowledge, you got to go through a rites of passage. And what does that mean to those who may not understand this knowledge? Some of them are getting it from the internet. Some is getting it from books, from people that's not even worthy of writing them. And I know you all know what I'm talking about when I say that, right? Those who write the book, sometimes they don't even have the proper knowledge of writing the book because they wasn't there to write it, right? They wasn't there. So when we deal with this knowledge, man, you know what I mean? It is true. First of all, you have to have, as I said before, you have to have duty, dedication, discipline, and the last thing is determination. If you don't have the proper duty and discipline, right? If you don't have that, half of the time this ain't gonna be for you because you're gonna definitely be tested on every level the moment you say you God or you on earth. That's a fact, right? That's an actual fact. You're gonna go through those changes, those challenges, and those testimonies to show and prove if you was this or not. I know I've been through a lot of it, and I'm 55 now. I'm still going through it. You know what I mean? My point to the knowledge is that when we deal with logic and reasoning, especially when we're dealing with those who may not understand our culture in its true form. Remember, I'm not talking about just God. We're dealing with the science of intelligence and how to use it in an official way and not an unofficial way that is being used unofficially as it relates to the artificial AI intelligence that's being forced into the psyches of the young people nowadays. Now, one more thing as it relates to this knowledge, right? Is that when we say knowledge is the foundation, right, to all things that exist, right, as it relates to our existence as a black man and a black woman in this day and time, as it relates to food, clothing, and shelter, love, hell, or right, and all the things that we go through in mathematical reality, we have to now come to the basis of understanding that, as the earth mentioned, right, Elijah was taught by Master Fard Muhammad, right? Elijah then taught Malcolm, and who taught Father, and on and on and on. It is our job now to take this knowledge and to make sure that we also travel. We also begin to study the Gnostic or the secret knowledge or those things that have been kept from us so we can add on to it so we can have a life to live as it relates to the foundation from which we walk on. You know what I'm saying? Each and every day, each and every way to show and prove not just a righteous way, but in a right and exact way. You know what I mean? So that the young can emulate what they're looking at because they actually are watching this as well too. They're listening, they're learning, and they're also seeing how we speak, right? So you got to have the right thought, the right mind, the right attitude, the right conversation, the right presentation, the right everything, so that when you come out right, all the bullshit, excuse my expression for you young people out there, can get left behind so that you could become better in your studies as a civilized person or a civilized man or a woman, depending on where you stand as such. And as I said in the last bill, there's a difference between manhood, adulthood, and godhood. It is a process, right? It is a process. You don't just get 120 lessons in the name of I got knowledge. You got a man's questions and answers. You have to now take that logic and the reason based upon your mathematical reality and draw it up so that your knowledge is strong, that is strong to be built on, and something that can be walked upon in this day and time. So I just wanted to add on to that. You know what I mean? That's my commentary
Peace,
right there, God.
Peace to the God. Man, God, thank you. Thank you for your add-on, man. It's always a pleasure. And you know, God, you know what it was I was definitely gonna add on to what you were saying. I kind of figured that's where you was going in terms of like root knowledge and branch knowledge, and you know that's why that's why I understood instantly where the earth went when she was talking about just her
Indeed.
tree. You know what I'm saying? I
Indeed.
was like, okay, the earth kind of saw it, and even I was still kind of drawing it up. But you know, God, and I appreciate you, you know, kind of adding the little clarification. But I think the point was right there. You know what I mean? We was definitely all in tune, God, and you know, it's always a pleasure. To have the add on, God, and
Yeah,
and even
definitely, God.
and just
Many
having these
days,
ciphers,
many,
because like you said, I think these type of ciphers, as well as like, you know, going to the root, going to the show and prove, making the
right,
rallies,
right,
going to the classes,
right,
walking with certain people, you able to
right.
get the root knowledge. You know what I mean? Now I know
Exactly.
some people is rough around the edges. You know what I mean? It ain't. I don't think that there's a dress code for the God on the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've read bills on that. Like, some gods smoke, some gods
Right,
drink, some gods is you may find God in the devil's
God in all
in
walks
the
of life.
devil's hells of the devil's penal institution. Some gods in the highest sparks of society. But what all makes us one and the same is the rite of passage. Is
right.
what we
And
all
the
went
right
through,
mindset.
the camaraderie, like you said, the mindset. You know what we able to see, as well as working
Right,
for the common cause and the
right,
works. You
right.
know what I
I
mean, and
think
doing it
I
for the
think one
works.
thing I wanted to say too, God, because there's been many days, peace be upon it, that I built with Firstborn Prince when he was living in the front of our school and when he was living in the back of the school. I think we talked about that briefly. And I have cassette tapes that the God gave me in my archives here at my home, cassettes that he created and gave to me personally, even the third prophecy, the Lost Mount Muslim lesson number 3, that God gave me personally out of his own hand, in my hand, and talked about a few things as it relates to this type of knowledge that we didn't have, when they first was getting this knowledge. Most of them were incarcerated, those that came from Mecca. It was the Medina gods, not taken away from nobody, that put a substance on what has happened, throughout the growth development of our 50 some odd years of being here in the, depths of hell and on the wilderness of North America. The point I'm trying to make is that we have to now realize, as the earth mentioned, there's a lot of shoulders, and the weight that comes with that, man, that has to be passed on as it relates to what we do now and how we carry ourselves now. We're in the third generation of our, nation, as it relates to the understanding, the great understanding that was depicted and shared with us, that these last days and times, that once the seventh seal is broken, God must reveal himself without having no fear of saying that he's the God or the earth, that she's the earth, if she is one, or if he is one. How do you show and prove that? Right? In that first grade student in Romans, right? Talks about the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream, the planet, earth, right? God of civilization, father, all these different things, right? God is last in that piece. Not that he's last in the reality of being last, but it's, like I said, it's a process of learning and reevaluating our minds, reevaluating our movements, reevaluating our actions, so that they can be what? The authority over all, which is the
True
first word that
indeed.
you see in the law. And the AH is what you give it life to, you give it breath, so
Mm.
that it can be what? Complete when itself. Arm, leg, arm, hand is a complete man within himself, recognizing his foundation to himself so he can see himself as himself. And as he is seen, he'll be heard everywhere,
True
not by the
indeed.
basis of his what? Conversation, which is wisdom before knowledge, is based upon the knowledge before wisdom,
And
based upon how he walks on that ground with the left and right foot,
peace,
using
God.
12 inches of the left and the right to bring about the equality, which is the balance of man. You
True,
see what I'm saying? As it
true
relates to
indeed.
how he moves. You understand?
True
So
indeed, God.
all these things got to be revealed to the young that are now coming into this fold.
And
Right? As,
God,
as my
that
big
bring
brother,
me to a question. I got a
yes,
question on
sir.
here that I want to
Yes,
throw out
sir.
that and I know that IC wanted to tag in on, and I do too.
Yes.
You know, how do we stop the youth? And God too, because I wasn't gonna, because you know the Earth was on here for a little while. I'm
Sure.
gonna go take too many.
Sure.
And everybody watching, I'm not gonna take too many questions. We ain't gonna be on here too long. Guys, how do we stop the youth? How do we help the youth to stop overthinking and stop mental health issues? You
Hmm.
know what I would say
Mental
to
health.
that, man. You know,
Right.
and I see,
Let's deal. Let's
I
deal with.
know.
Let's deal with who's the 85%, God?
I can see
Right?
that. Well,
Right?
and God, what I was gonna say, just going back to what we was just talking about, God. I think
Right.
the youth need actual processes, God, to take them take them out of the situation that they was in. You know, like for me coming into knowledge, it was like coming into a community, coming into a brotherhood. I've heard God speak about like Umar when he talk about his history. He
Yeah.
talk about how he came into martial arts,
Yes,
came
many days
into
with
the
Omaha.
camaraderie. You know, and I
Yes.
think in terms of mental health as well as slowing down, a big part of that is being able to come together. I see anything you want to add on to that?
Well, God,
God.
when I hear the way that the question was asked, the thing that comes to my mind is one of the first things that's needed when what I think about, and it's kind of it makes me think about the parallels in regards to getting the knowledge of self. And what I think about is was needed for that is therapy.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Therapy, and that's something, that's a word that's been it's been around in the black community a lot more lately, because it's been said and it's known that we as black people, we don't deal with it a lot. And when you get knowledge of self, that is a form of therapy. However, I think that just as well as getting knowledge of self, I think that we need more individuals that have knowledge of self, that have knowledge of self, that have the expertise in these particular type of fields of mental health. And we need therapists, because me myself, I went to therapy before, and when I went to therapy, I looked for certain characteristics in the therapist, before I chose my therapist, because I didn't want to just go and be talking to some white guy that's a Christian, and he's a
Right.
pastor, whatever. He's not going to
Right.
be able to identify with my reality.
Right.
So I was looking for somebody that fit certain characteristics, and I think that us as a nation, I think that it'd be nice if we had an individual or some individuals that was making that a particular undertaking of theirs to provide, like, therapy for,
Sure.
5%ers and, civilized people, just, us in particular.
Right. And I think
Or
you're 100%
otherwise.
right. Inf Mega, not to cut your wisdom, God, Inf Mega did a 10-part series on me when I was home about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now. And I spoke about that many of us who come from the dead world, male and female in our own rights, or whatever it is, may have been damaged in such a way that although when you come to get the knowledge of who you are as a, black man or black woman, that doesn't change what you've been dealing with and holding in for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the therapy is a real key piece to letting go, right? How are you going to gain more knowledge on top of false knowledge and then think that what you've been through is just going to just vanish? It doesn't. This is why depression kicks in. This is why anxiety kicks in for a lot of brothers and sisters out there who may be going through a lot and think that the knowledge of self is going to save them. It can only save you to a degree, but you still got to get healed from the damage that you've been through prior to getting it. That's a very, very key fact. As it relates to when I mentioned about who the 85% is, and it relates to mental health, and mental illness, as they like to call it now. Many have gone through post-traumatic stress. This COVID-19 has caused many post-traumatic stress disorder, meaning they've been traumatized, not knowing, as the devil continued to play his tricks through the media, through the doctors, the ministers, the nurses, and the cremators, as it relates to the 28th degree. They've been psychologically walked out, you know what I'm saying, not knowing what to expect next. People that they've learned, grew up with are now dying. Those in our nation dying of this alleged pandemic called COVID-19. Look at the mathematics in that word, right? COVID-19, right? At the same point in time, when it comes to the therapy issue, it is true that we must get the therapy first and foremost as another rite, not of passage, but a rite of substance. Because you have, and I've seen this myself in this nation, brother, sister, been in this nation for so long, but yet when they leave the cipher, they are beating the women. And I've seen this happen in the desert many times. You know what I mean? We corrected those errors, of course, but still it goes on. You know what I'm saying? The domestic violence that happens between a God and the earth, or some of the things that have happened with gods doing things to people that they should not be doing. Where does that come from? You see what I'm saying? With all this knowledge that they say they have, yet they still are locked into that unfortunate prison of the mind. Hence, slave of a mental death and power, right? So their minds have to be renewed. The only way you can get it renewed is that you have to reestablish some sense of boundaries, as the God mentioned, therapy, and you have to have some sense of letting go so that you can now live your life in abundance as it relates to. You know what I mean? One more thing I might add to that. In the name of those, as you say, God, you wish there were maybe those who can come and bring it. There's many in our nation who are psychologically qualified in one sense, may not be licensed by the devil, but yet have the ability to be a mediator of sense when somebody's going through. I'm creating this thing called, and it is something that my daughter told me that I should do in terms of fathers, right? A lot of us, like myself, didn't have a father figure. As it was said, if you don't have a father, look in the mirror, you'll see him, right? All right, well, we say father of civilization, which is to get us further. So now my responsibility as a father of 6 is to show my children how to get further in a life that's not meant for them to get ahead. So I got to be the example of that. Right. So when the God asks, well, how do we get these young people out of the mental illness and state that they're in? Look at the degree next to the question of who's the 85% is. They have no knowledge and no way of a culture that shows and proves their power. They powerless because they don't have the ability to live out a culture that's natural to them. This knowledge, as it relates to the knowledge of self, not the knowledge of questions and answers only, the knowledge of what you, the man or woman, goes through and how you handle it is a very important milestone that people miss. They think once they knowledge 120, they got it all figured out. No, there's still many things. The 24, add a cipher. The 240 that's unknown. Those unknown ciphers, those lessons is not mentioned. You got to go out and find out what is not mentioned and add it on to it so you can have a life to live. And this is where we, those gods who come from the 70s, 80s, those who are, as the Herb mentioned, coming back, her Aelites, the sisters who got that knowledge in the early 70s, 80s, we are now starting to come back because we recognize that we went into a continental shift and didn't realize that while we was going through the shift, the babies was also going through a shift, right? And now we have a responsibility. These types of platforms I've given you, brothers, and edified you so many times before to say thank you for doing this, because we have a lot of bullshit podcasters out there that ain't really revealing the reality of what this is about. And I applaud you, brothers, for what y'all doing, so that there are people who are seeing it can look at it from both sides, from the male perspective and the woman's perspective as a whole, in terms of the universal family from square to square. So that's what I want to add on to, God.
No doubt. Peace to the God.
Hope that makes sense.
Peace, God.
Yeah.
Peace, God. Thank you too, man. I appreciate that, God. I definitely appreciate that, God. And that's why, and that was one of the reasons that we really came forward with this platform and just the whole page and just everything, God. Because like you said, you got a lot of perpetrators and fakers who just, who perpetrating the fraud, man. But like God, we gonna keep the vanguard going. We gonna keep the shield up. We gonna keep the swords out. And we're gonna stay sharp, God, and we're gonna stay on them, God. So listen, God, we the earth was on here for a little while, man. I don't want to keep you too long.
No.
What it is, God, I want to schedule with you, man, and we get you back on here, man, and we do a whole build. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. And let's do it, God. Anytime y'all ready, man. You know what I mean? I'm always available. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
25 hours a day, not 24.
And it's always a pleasure. Got anything you want to lead the people with? You want anything you want to lead the people with real quick?
One thing I want to say, man, is that those that are seeking this knowledge, seek it with the right, man, frame of mind. Don't looking like you're going to just get this overnight. It's a process. Get with the right brothers and sisters that are living examples of how this knowledge can make you a better person, a better man, a better woman. Because that's what it's here for, not just for personal development, but actual growth and development, so you can become the stellar example of what greatness looks like and is. And one more thing, do not fall victim to the devil's civilization. The devil's working overtime, man. You know what I mean? And the God got to work overtime just as well to conquer, stomp out, and take him off the planet by having a plan to it. You know what I'm saying? And making sure that he takes his woman, the earth, and build together for a common cause, for a common good, and for a common denominator. You know what I mean? And that's my bill. That's what I want to add on to those out there that are young and who's coming into the fold as brand new newborns, as we like to say. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
No doubt, no doubt.
Anything
Peace.
you want to add on to that?
Peace. I want to say peace to everybody as usual. I appreciate you all coming out. Check us out for the night. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I know I did. It was lovely. Listening to the Earths. Give their wisdom as always, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from the Earths. God, we're gonna get that show with you. Lined up real soon. Get that in for the people. And other than that, I want to say peace to everybody. All the positive people in the universe, and much love to everybody. Peace.
Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth.
Yo, man. And listen, man, no problem, man. Peace to everybody in the chat. Listen, man, if you out there and you interested in connecting with the gods and the earths, man, if you want to get this knowledge, regardless of your geographical location, hit the link in our bio. Put in your city, your state, your phone number, your name, man, and we got you, and we get you connected with the gods and earths closest to you. If you enjoyed tonight's show, man, make sure that you support the channel, man. Go to the 5%connection.live/tips. You can support us, help us keep these shows up and going, and keep this content kicking out, as well as check out our merch, man, knowledgeofselfstore.com. Or you can go straight to our page, hit the shop button, man, check out our merch. And the Nectar of the Gods, man, all the great products that we got, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace, knowledge, divine, love you too, God. And we're going to keep it coming, man. If you ain't subscribed and you ain't following us already, make sure you following us on YouTube. Make sure that you sharing the stream, and make sure that you tap back in with us on Friday. We're going to be back in here at the usual, man, at 10 p.m. to kick it all the way live, man, and keep it all the way coming. So with that, man, we're gonna leave y'all, man, the same way that we came up in this thing, man, and that's peace.